Are we good now?
Perfect, thank you.
No problem. So because I did not have a specific standard to create a lesson for, what I did was thought about it on a global level as far as a unit. And this unit, what I'm going to do is be explaining to students how we're going to teach them how to basically organize an essay and analyze art, so that they have the basic foundation on what a 5-paragraph essay should look like with a thesis statement, okay? So the first thing we do is I introduce myself, I give you the date. Hey, my name is Von Smalley. The essential question, every day you're going to have this up here and it's not going to change, because at the end of this unit, you're going to write an essay that's going to have a rubric answering this particular question, okay? Right now, which painting would be the most appropriate to hang in the family lounge of the surgical center at Children's Memorial Hospital? Each day I will have this objective up here. My goal is, if you know this thing right here, by the end of the day, you've done your job, I've done my job, and we're good. Because every single day, this little objective is going to let me know that you're closer to being able to do this on your own, okay? I want you to take about a minute. Actually, I'll give you about 2 minutes. I want you to take the do now and go ahead and take time to answer that. So then I will let the student answer this. And essentially, you know, hopefully they come up with different, they might have Band-Aid for cohesive, or they might like say when a police officer pulls somebody over for coherent. But the whole point is to show students that, you know, when we're writing essays, we don't want to kind of be on topic and stumbling, then trying to come back on topic, trying to be on topic, then coming and trying to come back. You know, you want to make sure it's very tight and consistent. And we also want to keep connecting it. When we say cohesive, like the stickiness, we got to keep connecting it back to the thesis, keep connecting it back to the thesis. So we're going to, we'll take our time, because I like to spend about 5 minutes on my objective, because if I don't care about spending that much time on the objective, because if you don't know what we're doing and how you're going to be graded. I'm sorry, guys, this is Dr. Green. Hey, Dr. Green, we're actually on that Zoom link that I texted you. Oh, I see it. Gotcha. Okay. Oh, sorry, I was in the middle of the sample teach. I'm sorry.
No worries, you're doing great. Thank you,
No
Yvonne. One question I want to ask you: what if our scholars are not sure about the definition of coherent or cohesive?
I'm already prepared for that. So then I'll just have to give it to you. And then we'll start working through different examples that you can connect it to. So then not only do you have the definition now, but you have a picture in your mind where you can connect it to. And so, like I said, I normally, when I do this, I make fun about it. So it's like cohesive, we talk about a Band-Aid injuring yourself, and then coherent is like the drunk guy getting pulled over and like just trying to talk his way out of it, but it's not working. He's just blabbling. He's kind of on topic and kind of off topic. So then they get the laugh, and then we talk about it. You know, they might bring up an uncle or something, but just you make it funny, but something memorable so that they know what it's about. So the actual art donor, sorry. It's a packet, and I created this where essentially what we do is we go over probably a page or two a day. I show you how to do short answer so you start off, Miss Cheryl Joppy's a wealthy philanthropist. So you're going to go through this, and essentially we're going to learn how to analyze these 4 paintings. We're going to pick which one of these 4 paintings should get hung inside of the Children's Memorial Lounge of the Miami Children's Hospital. So they have to remember that it's for children, because it's going to have a target audience. And then what we do is there are questions right here on the side, and we analyze each painting. We look at the people in the painting, and they're answering these questions. Look at the setting, the color, the mood. And what you'll realize is you'll wind up having all of your evidence for your essay already by us taking our time and putting it in this graphic organizer. So then you'll be able to go back, because you already typed up your evidence. So at this point, let's think about what we've done. We've analyzed what's the purpose of the painting. They now know the objective, what we're doing. They understand how we're going to be graded, because we're going to probably do a page or 2 a day. We're going to wind up doing at least 2 paintings to analyze one day, and we'll analyze another 2 paintings another day. So then right after we do those things, then we do our reflection. You know, which one should she donate? Give me the 3 reasons why. So you'll pick like the setting, the color, and the mood. Those would be your topic sentences. We'll turn those into full sentences. Describe the reasons why you chose it. This is that like explain your answer part. So that's going to be that second sentence in that paragraphs. Which one should absolutely not donate? Just something to help them write a little bit more on the short answers. So then we go to the thesis statement. Then after we go through building what a thesis statement is, and I got the examples and everything, and teach them how to do the three-pronged thesis statement, then we go to creating your claims and how to back those up. After we go through that, we wind up using the graphic organizer now to help them write out a little thesis here, write your topic sentence right here, and use that evidence from the setting, the mood, and the message. You will use whatever evidence that you use. So setting, mood, message, then you explain the message, you explain the color, you explain what's going on. And then we like basically just put it all together. They don't really usually do page 11 because at that point we're like putting it in the essay. And then we do like, once everybody has like the packet complete, we do a paragraph a day in class. So this way I'm helping monitor you along the way. So you never have writer's block or feel like you're stuck. By the end, I use this rubric. So I always go over the rubric at the very beginning. So the same way I introduce the packet, we introduce how you'll be graded. So it tells you what your thesis statement is. Does each one of your claims is each one of your claims or your topic sentences on point and directly relates to your thesis statement? Did you give me evidence answering those questions, looking at that color, looking at what the characters do, looking at the setting? Did you analyze how those things work together? And then grammar. So grammar, I normally just start off with subject, verb, agreement, and apostrophes before this. And then right after I get this down, because we now know how to structure an essay, we'll go over like the 4 basic comma rules. Because in my mind, if you have the subject, verb, agreement, 4 basic comma rules, and you know how to structure it, that's a transferable skill you would take everywhere with you. And if you know how to, so then once we start doing like literature, then you'll know how to do short answers. And then I'll connect that to like, how do we respond to questions by email? Answer the question, provide your evidence, give your reasoning why you feel like that, close it out. So then it just teaches you how to answer anything. So that's, a sample. So then again, making sure we just review the rubric. If anybody gets stuck, how to write an essay sentence by sentence and give them that structure. And, a lot of it is them just doing most of the work and me helping them. Share your screen. When it comes to do nows, since we only do 2 days a week, I would do like this would be my Monday one, and then my Tuesday one, then this would be my Thursday, and then I would grade it at the end of the week. So then every week, you're getting at the minimum 2 grades. Those do nows will be graded, and the work that you had to turn in will be graded. You know exactly how it will be graded. You're going to get so used to the feedback and the constant being able to know what it is. So that's just like what a putting together an essay writing unit would look like. I can do literary analysis if that's what we're trying to do, but a lot of times I've found that just structuring the basic essay, knowing the 4 basic common rules of subject, verb, agreement, those tend to be a lot of the foundational skills that most people missing, right? And when you get those gaps in, everything else I can start filling in. Then I can do pronoun and I can do anything I want to do once I get you confident that you can do this. I've trained, so I'm really, I know this curriculum works. I did this, so that's just what it is. I mean, if you guys have any questions, I can, like I said, I can do literary analysis too. A lot of times what I do every day is like when I teach a comma rule, and I like to make my do nows, it'll be like, explain to me how do you think females should be able to participate in male sports? I want the first sentence to be an independent clause, comma, fanboy, independent clause. The second one to be a dependent clause, comma, independent clause. And I'll literally have 5 sentences like that. When they first start off, it takes them so long that becomes an assignment. But by the time, we get, 5 months down, they're knocking it out in 5 minutes with the comma rules and the structure. So now it gets to the point where those comma rules become ingrained in them. And so then it really, really tightens up the writing as well. It prepares them for the English portion of the ACT, which is all punctuation. A lot of times we forget that the English portion is strictly punctuation on the ACT. That reading portion is completely different.
It's not, it's punctuation, but it's also it's a lot of grammar too. I teach that prep. Yeah.
Yep, and when I do it,
punctuation is a big part of it. How do you use the semicolon? How do you use the colon? When do you know, when is parentheses appropriate versus commas, you know, what is a complete sentence for? For instance, on the ACT, a semicolon is treated as a period on the ACT. So it deviates a little bit from the classroom because they treat a semicolon as a period. So then anything followed by a semicolon should be a complete sentence, or anything ending with a semicolon should be a complete sentence and on the ACT.
I agree with you.
A lot of kids don't know that. Yeah.
Yeah, I make it like a math table. So it's like a little math formula. IC stand for independent clause. That's a complete sentence. You know, like the semicolon here, it's a conjunctive adverb, like however, therefore. So it'll be IC semicolon, then whatever your conjunctive, therefore, however, as a result, whatever you put, comma, then another complete sentence. Or if you got this sentence here, it needs to emphasize the first sentence because it is treated like a period. When it's a dependent clause followed by independent clause, there's no comma. And then like with a dependent clause, it's a complete sentence like, I love you. That's an independent clause. But if I put a SC, because again, I teach them we don't need that big word. Just a SC is a subordinated conjunction. Since I love you, it's no longer complete. I will get you some food. And then we just practice it just like that.
Yeah.
So then this is normally a type of anchor chart that you would see in my classroom, and we'll start doing check marks once we learn each one of these comma rules. So then when they finally learn them all, I'm like, my God, look at my little grammarians, right?
Mm-hmm. So. What is your philosophy on increasing their vocabulary so that they on the ACT and the SAT they understand, for instance, so they understand the context of if they say which one of these words in the columns in choices A, B, C, and D is closely related to the word strewn. What in your curriculum is increasing their vocabulary content, you know?
Okay. Well, I use above grade level text. I never use grade level text.
Right.
And I use short stories. And so I don't mind taking my time because I can get through there's like a lot of people like book studies. I'm not a book study fan. Kids don't read books anymore. They're just not going to sit there and read the whole book. That's just not smart. So you get you a small short story that gets their interest, that ends quickly, that's what you want, and make it above grade level so they start being introduced to those words, and we take our time with it. And you chunk those readings up, we circle those words, we go over, review them, and then as we're doing that, that's when you make your exit ticket questions look like those ACT questions so that they're practicing, so they're used to those question stems and already getting used to doing that with brain memory. The same way you practice at practice is how you're going to practice in the game. So if they've already been seeing it in exit tickets, by the time they get to that, they've been doing it so much, it's okay.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we just got through IC testing several kids, and verbal reasoning and quantitative reasoning were very pronounced insufficiencies in middle school and high school kids. So, you know, that falls under verbal reasoning. Which of these 4 words is closely related to, you know, to cacophony, you know? So, you know, using those higher level short passages to introduce words in context that they could be able to, you know, recognize other words that could be switched with that word in context. That's going to allow them to score a lot higher and finish faster, and during standardized testing, because it ain't gone nowhere. They just pretending like it ain't. It's not required, but it's still required to get access to certain things and then into certain schools. Yeah, the ACT and the SAT.
I 100% agree with you, and I told people that was a quick pandemic thing. It was a test because of what was going on, and they're about to go back to it because you need an objective way to do it. I'm not going to the doctor and saying, hey, man, I understand you just don't test well. You don't have your license, but feel free to let me know what's going on. Right.
Right.
Right. Go to the lawyer's office like, hey, I know you failed the bar, but come on, represent me. That just don't make any sense. So
Right. So yeah, I like it. Yeah.
So, No,
I wanted to interject. I really appreciated the thoroughness of how you've chunked the lesson in between and how you're focusing on the topic itself. And when that understanding is solidified, then now you understand what you're writing about. Here are the tools to help you to write it, and then now let's write it. My wonderings are you able to transpose or to plug in different pieces of lit, or is it pretty set? Can you add different pics, different photo for the photo gallery? I don't know. Throw a wrench in it.
So once they get this part down, and then now you got organization, we shift to literary analysis. So that's when I'll read 4 stories that's fall under a theme. And then your goal is to figure out why did the author write this, and I'll have you compare it. Like first time we'll do one, you just write about one reading. Then the next time you'll do a compare and contrast about 2. So now I'm building you up. And as I'm teaching you about these literary things, so I might only like focus on, since we already did mood, I feel like mood, tone, and setting are very easy. How did it make you feel? How do you feel like this person was talking to you? And where did it happen? And when did it happen? So why they was writing like that. Once they learn how to do those, then I can say, okay, let's compare and contrast when somebody else did it, how they felt, what was going on during that time. And you're able to add like symbolism or something in there, add something else, so then they can compare and contrast. So once you get the structure, it's easy to start putting the literature in there. And now I'm teaching you those literary terminology, those literary skills. And then all you're doing is the same thing. Instead of your evidence being about what you saw with the color, now your evidence has to be text evidence. I want a sentence from the text that specifically defends it. So like one of my questions was, what is evidence and when is it used? So then we go from looking at the physical evidence or the, what your eye can see with art to finding lines of text that defend your claims. So that way you'll start learning how to speak with evidence. And then even when they're writing, like, so then again, I connected always back to real life. So if you're writing an email and you feel like someone did something wrong, you explain what you think they did wrong. You provide the evidence on exactly what they did. You talk about the impact on how it made you feel and what you hope next in the email. So again, it all goes back to how do we communicate with people, whether it's, in writing. Because the way you're going to learn how to do it in writing is how you're going to start to speak. And your ability to do this well is going to dictate if you're going to be the person going to get seed money for millions of dollars or whatever you're going to be doing. It's going to determine a lot before you get through the door, how you sound and how you write.
So what is the difference between your English 9th grade and your English 12th grade? Is it just you just grabbing more difficult literature or text?
Yeah, so 9th grade is
using the same curriculum on each grade?
Well, it depends, right? Like, what the course entails, right? An AP language is different than AP Lit, right? AP language is more about you writing and
yeah, but for our purposes, we only having just regular English, no AP.
So if that was the case, then I would focus probably mostly on a lot more grammar and ACT skills, and then be choosing a more difficult text. So like here, my main focus is just getting them to structure the writing correctly and learn how to do it in different areas. Once we analyze art, then we analyze one story, then we compare, contrast 2 stories, then we analyze a movie, right? So you can do it in different functions and settings. As they get higher in grade level, the texts become more complex, and it's like not only do the texts become more complex, but then I'm focusing more on a lot more grammar. So we're not just touching the foundations. Now we're talking about pronoun antecedent agreement. Now we're talking about tense. Now we're talking about, when they put in 2 errors at once, like when they're doing the SAT, because the SAT is a little bit more challenging than the ACT. And so that's when I started doing those type of things and making sure we're practicing on those. So you'll see a lot more do nows look like ACT questions every single day to give us practice, where you will answer the question, multiple choice question, then you need to explain to me in 3 to 4 sentences why that's the answer. Telling me what's your answer, give me evidence on why you know that's the answer. And so that way.
And so you already have 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th already mapped out?
Let's see what I got for you. Yeah, I got a lot of stuff, man. I got so much stuff. I got stuff for algebra 1 because I taught math too. I got stuff for everything. Yeah.
Can you send us an outline of the curriculum for 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th when you get a chance? Not the actual content, but just the outline.
I don't really care. I'll give it to you. Make
No,
everybody
not
else.
not the curriculum, just the outline. Like
Oh, I
the
know what you're
outline for the
talking
year
about.
for
You're
just
talking about
9th,
unit
10th.
plan.
It should be like a 1-page or 2-pager.
You mean like a syllabus, Dr. Green?
Yeah.
Like something. That's a look. Nah, that's a. I gotta find something. Let me see. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I could quickly put something together. I just gotta dig through all this. So I just gotta dig through. Once I dig through, I can find something. I need to dig through, find something, then like, cause I have interim exams for all grade levels as well. So like, and they look like ACTs. So like, let me see. Like, so these is, it's the opening response was not them. Give me a second. Okay, that's the IAs. They go 9th, 10th. These are the scope and sequences you asking for, but then I would probably update them based on the newest standards.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, this is what you're looking for right here.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So this is the stuff you're looking for. And then as far as the exams, I don't need the.
Yeah, just send just that's all I'm looking for is that little outline. So now send that to me. I gotta run to I'm on the radio station to promote the school. I gotta run to that. Just send that to me. Just send to my email. I can look at that. Appreciate what you did so far. I'm gonna let y'all continue. I gotta run to this radio station meeting promo that I'm doing for the school.
All right, Dr. Green, thanks so much for taking the time to come in and observe me.
Oh man, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
All right, but
I just had one question actually.
yes.
I just wanted to know, in what way do you integrate technology into your curriculum or even into your everyday class?
It's
Considering,
all technology. I would consider myself one of the first paperless teachers. And it used to shock people, a lot of administrators when I was explaining, like, I don't use paper. What do you mean you don't use paper? I don't make copies. So I did everything through Google Classroom, through Google Docs, through the Google system. And I know you guys use Microsoft Teams, so I know how to use the Microsoft Teams and create your own classroom, upload your assignments up in there. I don't find it conducive because students are not doing paper and print no more. So you're going to learn how to write and do your essays on a Google Doc and share it with them, right? Like, because that's how people share information. And we're going to like, you're going to learn how to read. Like I tell them all the time, a smartphone is only as smart as the person using it. If the only thing you do is listen to music on it and listen to YouTube on it, then that's as far as you're going to get with it. But there's people out here doing a lot more with their phone than you are. So we got to figure out how to do it. And it's just as simple as YouTube, how to. So I take a day and show them how to use Google Drive. I take a day to show them how to use Google Docs. I make sure I teach them how to put my heading on there, how to share it with me. I make them share the first, like, that's why we're doing paragraph by the day, because you've already shared a document with me now, and I can see it, and I can go on there and make comments as you're writing, right? That, like, that live feedback where I don't have to sit down with every student. We're virtual, and I have all of your documents up here, and I'm literally going on everybody's document as you're writing and typing in live feedback. Oh, I noticed all 5 of you guys are doing some. Hold on, everybody, let me stop you guys. I want everybody to look at my screen now. Boom, and now I go ahead and get something done. So that's how it works. So, yeah, but I pride myself on like, you will become technology.
Repeat that again, Shamika. You gotta cut out.
I said that sounds good. That sounds great, actually. I didn't know if he also, and you can answer this, if you also use any external English apps as well, but I just wanted to kind of get an idea of what way
No.
technology was integrated.
Oh, yeah, I try not to use books and stories and stuff like that. I feel like I can't pivot the way I like I don't like to use software because I can't pivot based on your scores, right? Like I like to create the stuff because like the good thing, like for me, I learned how to create the curriculum, pardon me. I learned how to create the assessments. I learned how to create the exit tickets. I made those images. Like I was part of the person on the team who made these ACT looking, like those ACT looking questions and everything. Like I made this thing right here. Like I was on the teams that did these. And so for me, I need to be able to get data points and pivot to make sure I get you to where I need you to be in order to do well. So I don't really like using like, you know, specific programs, if you may. What I'd rather teach them how to do is look up on on a video, something that they're confused about. I want to teach them how to research and learn to teach themselves. That's actually if you want to know the theme of my teaching philosophy is, I'm going to teach you how to teach yourself. I'm going to show you how far you've come that you didn't even realize you mostly taught yourself and learned from each other. And the only thing you did was stop and ask me questions, because that's what they do in the best university, right? When you go to Northwestern, when you go to Harvard, when you go to Brown, when you go to Princeton, everybody, they know how to read. I'm not about to sit here and read to you. And everybody in here is smart. I know you all smart. That's how you got in. So the whole point is, y'all gonna sit here and figure this out with each other. And when everybody's stuck, then you ask the professor something. When all the geniuses can't get it, then you go ask the big genius. But I'm not about to, you guys, most of the questions you guys got, you could figure it out. That's how the whole Socratic seminar thing even started. Right. And so that's my concept, is to teach you how to do that, whether they be in the classroom or virtually. How do I go be in charge of my own learning? How do I get comfortable asking other people questions when I don't know something? That's the theme and philosophy of my teaching.
That sounds good. So what I hear you saying is that you like to be able to customize and make adjustments, and that apps won't allow you to do that to the extent that you want to do that.
Yeah, but like I might have fun with like this right here, right? Like if we're gonna have a fun game, I might say Jeopardy subject verb agreement, right? And so we might spend a day having fun playing this right here. Okay. Or I'd be like Jeopardy common rules. So I might find like different little fun games that we can play, that relate to it. So, it's just, that's all it is. So just to make
I like the idea that your goal is to have independent thinkers, independent learners, or help them understand that that's what they are, and that is what will bring about success, is learning how to become an independent thinker. Well, they're already independent thinkers, but utilizing that in every aspect of your life, not in just one aspect. So that's all I needed to know.
Thank you so much. What about you, Mrs. Adams? Any extra thing I can clarify, explain about how I approach the classroom, or what you guys can expect from me?
Well, with asking about what curriculum, yeah, so definitely K-12 is not for you. You already have your stuff already ready to go. You already navigated through how you want it to be structured, what you want to pull from it, the ins and outs of it. So as far as what you're looking for, like, what platform do we use to set up your settings? We have Microsoft Office, not as an educator, but as a business. So you have your suite available. You do have your groups, your channels that you can plug in your information and share with your students. From those groups, you can pull them into Class C 365 to have them linked to your sessions, right? And in Class C, you can build out your stuff. You can post assignments, you can create your discussion board there, you can plug things there, you can drop things there, grade them right there, and submit that. And it's that in Class C 365 is our direct go-to. That's where students will log in. That's where they'll see their grades. So they'll see their schedules. They'll see their classes on their LMS. So they click on their lectures and their sections, and they can get into their content. So as far as a platform, we have Class C 365, and so that next step will be, there you go. Wait, are you there? So go to CLASSE 365. CLASSE. Wait, backtrack.
Like that?
Backtrack. Class
Ah,
With an E, 365. All right. And so you're gonna go to find my school, but what I can do is, can I share?
oh wait.
To share?
Yes, I think so. Let me stop my share. Stop. And then let me. Can you share? We got 6 minutes and 30 seconds. I got a free trial.
Yeah. It'll be fine. It'll be fast.
Okay. Man, Zoom monetized, didn't they? We got to a point where they doing. You're going to get off the meeting in an hour.
Well, you asking for something extra because this is not just a quick meeting. Is that with the video? Screen share. There we go. Can you see my screen?
No, I cannot.
Host. Oh, you disabled the screen share.
Did I? No, I didn't mean to. Let me see.
So here's the deal. So, based on next steps, you can see the portal. I wanted to kind of give you an idea. On our platform, we have a carved out to where when you get your lectures assigned, you can click on those courses, and in there you could set up, you could carve out what you want to carve out. Have your students look at this. You can even place your quizzes in there, and it'll grade it for you instantly, connected to our grading system, and reflect that so students can see it real time. So we give you the ability to be able to create and have something that's yours, versus following something else that has a different grading rubric or style or content, or doesn't really hit on the points that you want to hit on. So so we have that flexibility for you if that's something, which I see something that you want. So
it's exactly something I want, because I like to be able to, when the parents ask how do they do on the quiz, a learning experience for them. You can log on. I try to put everything inside of there. I try to make sure that I keep the grades up to date, so that when they're coming to me for information, more than likely it was already available, and all I'm doing is explaining. And normally I don't even do the explain. I have the student explain it, and then I wait to see if there's any inconsistencies. Because when you got a great relationship with them, they're more than likely to tell the truth. Like once everybody's in each other's face, all right, it was me. He definitely told. Just making sure we keep it real. Like, and so they be all right. I feel like I've met you somewhere. Your voice is like, I swear I feel like we worked somewhere before. Like I've seen you talking or something somewhere. Man.
It's a small world. You never know. But I'm good. I'm good. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Ms. Baylor, is anything else for me? I think Ms. Baylor's gone.
So she's in between routes, so she might be in a rough spot. So like this, when we have our scholars online, they might be traveling, they might be chiming in. So we encourage them to make sure they have their laptops and their little backpack with the materials they need for class with them while they're traveling. That's the luxury of having a flexible schedule like this. So the requirement is for them to be on with camera on in a sturdy environment, so they can be more present, or be not more present, but completely present in the session that they're scheduled for. But in the instance that they are traveling, they're trying to make sure that they make it, you can give us a concession, but this should not be the consistent. Does that make sense? That's not the standard. I understand you're traveling, so, and I'm glad that you're on the call. Get in a good spot. Let me see your camera, let me see your audio, so I can be engaged, because this is our time to engage, right? So it's one of those pieces where, that might be an instance, but that should not be the norm. So if that comes up, you let us know. But yeah, I love that you have the headphones on, cancellation, but we'll talk about, the presence of students should be, good lighting, great camera feedback, great audio, dress presentable, because it should be a professional setting. And then we ask that of everyone. So that's something I want to tell you thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, the way you show up on camera is how serious they're gonna take your class. Right.
Yeah. So that's it. We're good, and we're finished with 2 minutes to spare, right?
Well, again, send me any I-9 paperwork and any paperwork I need to fill out. I can send you guys copies of the passport and social. And thank you guys so much for taking the time to interview me today.
So look in your inbox for an onboarding link, and I will share that with you. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Wonderful.
All right.
Thank
Have a wonderful
you,
day.
you too.
Bye-bye.